We begin with a man who redefined reality itself. Werner Heisenberg didn't just study physics, he dismantled the classical world. By viewing this slide, your audience immediately grasps the tension between his mathematical genius, represented by the matrix mechanics behind me, and the moral paradoxes of his legacy. This presentation isn't a mere history lesson. It's an exploration of how one mind's pursuit of truth can collide with global catastrophe. Prepare to dive into the duality of a man who is both the architect of modern science and a central figure in its most haunting ethical dilemma. Heisenberg's greatest discovery, that complementary properties can coexist, is the perfect lens for his own biography. Here we confront the ultimate human paradox. On the left, the clean-cut pioneer who unlocked the quantum realm. On the right, the shadowed patriot entangled with the Third Reich. By framing his life through this mutually exclusive lens, we move beyond simple judgment. We challenge the audience to reconcile how a brilliant mind can be both a beacon of progress and a prisoner of history. This duality transforms a standard biography into a profound study of ethical complexity, ensuring your viewers remain gripped by the tension between genius and compromise. To understand the man who shattered classical physics, we must first look at the central order that shaped him. This timeline reveals a foundation built on Bach's harmonies and Platonic ideals. Despite the starvation of war, Heisenberg sought a unified truth, an epiphany found not in a lab, but in a violin's melody in the Altmühl Valley. By highlighting these roots, we show your audience that his quantum revolution wasn't an act of rebellion, but a disciplined search for the universe's underlying music. This context elevates his later work from cold mathematics to a deeply human quest for coherence in a chaotic world. Here is the moment physics broke. We see the glitch, a planetary model that predicts the collapse of all matter. This slide forces your audience to feel the paralysis of the scientific community. By showcasing the failure of Newton's rules in the subatomic world, we set the stage for Heisenberg's radical departure. We aren't just looking at a flawed diagram, we are looking at the intellectual vacuum that demanded a visionary. This tension ensures your audience understands that Heisenberg didn't just add to science, he saved it from a logical dead end. He stopped looking at what we thought we should see and started looking at the data. On the barren cliffs of Heligoland, a 23-year-old Heisenberg made the ultimate intellectual sacrifice. He stopped trying to see the atom. By abandoning human intuition, he discovered a bizarre mathematical reality where the order of operations changes the result. This slide isn't just about math, it's about the courage to trust data over common sense. By replacing physical paths with abstract arrays, he provided the first consistent language for the subatomic world. Your audience will see that this leap didn't just solve a puzzle, it birthed a new era of science, proving that nature's deepest truths often defy our ability to visualize them. Even Einstein was skeptical, pointing to the visible trails in a cloud chamber. But Heisenberg looked closer. He realized that the path is a phantom, an illusion created by isolated water droplets. By exposing this gap between interaction and intuition, he transformed physics into a philosophy of questioning. This slide proves to your audience that our presence as observers fundamentally alters the universe. We don't just study nature, we interrogate it, and nature responds through the lens of our methods. This shift moves the narrative from a technical discovery to a profound realization about the limits of human perception and the very nature of objective truth. With this formula, the clockwork universe of absolute predictability is dead. Heisenberg proves that at the most fundamental level, nature guards its secrets. We cannot know both where a particle is and where it is going simultaneously. This slide confronts your audience with a startling outcome. Reality is inherently probabilistic. By framing this as a universal implication rather than a mere calculation, we highlight the monumental shift from a world of certainty to one of potential. You are showing them the exact moment human knowledge reached its ultimate boundary, forever changing how we define what is knowable in our universe. This table represents the most significant divorce in the history of science. On one side, Einstein's conviction that God does not play dice, on the other, Heisenberg's proof that he does. By contrasting these two worldviews, you provide your audience with a front-row seat to the battle for reality's soul. This slide moves beyond abstract theory, showing that our understanding of the universe shifted from absolute certainty to statistical probability. It validates the radical nature of Heisenberg's work. He didn't just propose a new theory. He overthrew the centuries-old foundation of causality, forcing humanity to accept a universe that exists only as potential until we choose to look. While his peers fled, Heisenberg stayed, attempting to build islands of permanence within a sea of tyranny. This slide confronts the audience with the ultimate consequence of his, quote, duty. By remaining, he became a strategic asset to a genocidal regime. Your viewers will see that his desire to protect the future of German physics led to a catastrophic moral blindness. We aren't just discussing a career choice. We are analyzing the dangerous outcome of compartmentalizing science from ethics. This creates a haunting realization. Even the architect of uncertainty could not see the fatal certainty of the evil he served. In the race for nuclear supremacy, Heisenberg found safety in fragmentation. While the Allies streamlined toward a weapon, Heisenberg's 1942 pivot transformed a bomb project into a scientific bunker. By presenting the bomb as an impossible drain on resources, he redirected the regime's gaze, ensuring his own work remained focused on a civilian reactor. This slide demonstrates the ultimate benefit of his calculated uncertainty. He survived the war without delivering a weapon to Hitler. It invites the audience to weigh a complex outcome. Was this a subtle act of sabotage or a convenient failure of genius? The fragmented lines on the right reveal the messy, ambiguous reality of his wartime conscience. In 1941, the uncertainty principle became a human tragedy. This slide presents the ultimate historical superposition. One meeting, two irreconcilable realities. Heisenberg believed he was a savior brokering peace. Bohr saw a predator seeking secrets. By framing this through Bohr's truth versus Heisenberg's truth, you demonstrate how intentions are irrelevant when trust is destroyed. This isn't just a historical mystery. It's a masterclass in the consequences of moral ambiguity. Your audience will see that in the high-stakes realm of nuclear ethics, a lack of clarity is indistinguishable from a threat, forever altering the course of the war and the lives of these two giants. At Farm Hall, the masks finally dropped. These secret recordings strip away the post-war myths of intentional sabotage. Instead, they reveal the, quote, second-rater sting of technical failure and the stark reality of resource scarcity. This slide provides your audience with the ultimate outcome of Heisenberg's wartime journey, a quiet, profound relief that he hadn't succeeded. By showcasing this raw vulnerability, we humanize a monumental failure. We move beyond the binary of hero or villain to show a man caught in the gap between his genius and his circumstances, ultimately grateful that the world was spared the results of a success he couldn't achieve. Heisenberg's final act was a masterclass in reconstruction. This map reveals a shift from isolated nationalism to a unified European vision. By leading the creation of CERN, he didn't just rebuild German science. He integrated it into a collaborative global network. Most importantly, his political activism through the Göttingen Manifesto turned his expertise into a shield against the very weapons he once investigated. This slide shows your audience the ultimate redemption. A man who redefined his legacy by ensuring that the power of the atom would be used for discovery and peace rather than destruction. He proved that even in a world of uncertainty, one can choose a definitive path toward the common good. We conclude where we began, in search of the central order. This slide represents the ultimate benefit of Heisenberg's journey, the realization that science and values are the two essential lenses of human existence. By applying the quantum concept of complementarity to our moral lives, he proves that truth isn't just a calculation. It is a harmony between what is factually true and what is ethically noble. This perspective empowers your audience to see that our technical mastery must always be balanced by our philosophical depth. Heisenberg's legacy is not just a formula for uncertainty, but a call to integrate our pursuit of knowledge with our responsibility to humanity. We conclude with a final, poetic uncertainty. Heisenberg's life proves that while equations define the subatomic, they cannot fully contain the human spirit. This slide invites your audience to see beyond the math to the central order he spent a lifetime chasing. His legacy isn't just a limit on what we can measure, it's a testament to the beauty of the unknown. By ending on this note, you transform a scientific biography into a profound reflection on our place in the cosmos. You leave your audience not with a cold formula, but with a lingering sense of wonder at the mystery he so brilliantly explored.